Here are the 5 things I did to 5x my TPT store income over 5 months. Hey guys, I'm Phoenix and I'm the Tattooed Piano Teacher. I started my TPT store in April 2023, not knowing what the heck I was doing. I tried a little bit of everything, so you don't have to. Stick around to the end for a little caveat about fast-paced growth versus slow-paced growth on TPT. Before I go over the 5 things, let me just explain what I mean by 5x. Mathematically, I do mean 5x, but we are not talking going from $1,000 a week to $5,000 a week. I wish. No, we are talking about going from $50 a month, which was my original goal with this store, to an average of $250 a month over like the first 5 months of my TPT store's existence. Okay, so these are not big numbers, but it was a significant rise in income for me. I was excited about the growth. In my previous video, I went over exactly how much I made in the first few months on TPT. So if you're interested, watch that first and then come back. So here's the 5 things. I'm gonna start with the most obvious, and then I'm gonna get to the least obvious. The first one is I bit the bullet and signed up for the premium seller account. If you already have the premium seller account, then you know. The first couple months I was just like so doubtful that this was gonna do anything that I was like, $60, I don't know. But then when I saw that I started making sales, I was like, okay, like I knew I wanted the premium seller account right away, pretty much just from hearing other TPT sellers talk about the difference in the income that you make per sale versus, and I'm not gonna go into that because I'm sure you guys have all heard that, but in a nutshell, as a premium seller, every sale you make gets you more money, less fees, more money, more commission. So it's a good thing. I mean, are you gonna do this or are you gonna do this? It's not a huge investment, just do it. Number 2, I got my store looking like a store as soon as I could. Now, this involves a few things. First of all, I had to get some products in there, right? Some things on the shelf. I hear some people that like make big products and they only have like 5 things in their store and they do well. Good for them. I wasn't that type of store. I was making $3 products like I think most people do. And so I had to get quite a few things in the store. So it was just looking like, it was looking okay. I got my personalized banner going. I did a nice logo, worked on the branding of it, just got it all looking like a store. So this involved a lot of research, looking at other TPT sellers' accounts, to just go into some of the people that have like 10,000 followers. So what does their store look like? Some of them you'll like and some of them you won't like. I will tell you right now, if you go to my store, and the link is in the description if you want to check it out, I am not, I would say, your typical TPT seller as far as the aesthetics go. But then again, I'm also not a classroom teacher. I have my own vibe. The branding over there is kind of the same as my branding on YouTube. Like I have my like, you know, retro rockabilly tattoos vibe going, and it's like, it's me. There's like a look that people are looking for. And I don't really fit in that box, but I just went for it hardcore. I'm like, I'm gonna be me, but people are gonna know who I am as soon as they land on my store. I started making the store look like a store and I started building a brand right away. Like within the first few months, I had all that up and running. Number 3 is Pinterest. I got on Pinterest. Now, I actually got on all the social medias, but the only one that I actually saw results that turned into cha-ching dollars sales was Pinterest. Hours of YouTube videos, how to do Pinterest, got good at making some pins, and then I got into a routine. So like every time I would make a product, you know, you make your product, you make your cover, you make your thumbnails. I would also make the pins at the same time. So talk about batching, making the most of your time. And I would make a few pins for each product. And then you can link your pins to your website, or you can link them to the product on TPT. Either way. And I have been experimenting and I've seen good results on both. If you have the premium seller account, you can use UTM codes. When I look at my dashboard on TPT, I can see how many people came over from my Pinterest pin. And I can even see which pin they clicked on to get to my product. I can also see if when they clicked on my product, they bought. So that's how I know that Pinterest was the one that worked. And Pinterest is still working for me. All right, I got 2 more for you, and I think these are the big ones for a strategy for a new TPT store. before I give you number 4, hit the like button if you are liking TPT behind the scenes, seller info, tips, ideas, following my journey on TPT, all of that stuff. Number 4 is I focused on seasonal products. Disclaimer, I've definitely seen conflicting advice about seasonal products. Some people are like, yes, seasonal products, gotta have them. They do really well in TPT, and they do. Other people are like, you should focus on evergreen products that sell all year round first before you worry about seasonal. So honestly, I wasn't sure what to do because I can see value in both of those strategies. What I did is I used freebies and seasonal products to see what was going to be the most successful for me. Because when you first start a store, you might have all the ideas in the world about like what you want your product lines to be, what you want your niche to be. But at the end of the day, if customers aren't interested in it, they're not searching for it, if they don't want it for their classroom, then you're not going to be successful even if you have the best products in the world, right? So here's how this works. So if I had an idea for a game that I would use with my students, I'm a piano teacher, before I put hours and hours and hours into creating that, I'll make a free version of it, one sheet of flashcards related to that idea. I don't know about you, but I'm not downloading freebies that I'm not sure if I want. It's space on my computer, like I'm printing it, I'm using the ink. So even freebies, like I'm shopping for freebies, right? And I think other people are too. Or I would make one version of it in a seasonal format. For a seasonal product, those are going to show up in search just so much easier because people are searching for, Halloween music games or whatever. Those are more likely to get seen by more people, and then you can see how they do. So if I make a Halloween version of this idea and a Halloween version of this idea, and I let those chill in my TPT store, then at the end of October, I'm going to take a look at the analytics. I'm going to see how did the Halloween freebie do? How did Halloween game number 1 do? How did Halloween idea number 2 do? Or whatever. After a couple of holidays of doing that, I can base my decisions on that. Now the downfall to this is I have a bunch of seasonal products in my store that aren't going to do anything for the other 11 months that it's not that season. But the information that they gave me fueled what I did next. And I feel like that was like a fast-tracked way to get some product research done to see what was going to sell. Now, once I have a full year under my belt, I will have basically all the information I need to run with product lines and evergreen products and all of that because I will see what did well every single season. Number 5 is I explored my niche. Here's what I mean by that. I'm thinking about the piano teacher when I'm creating resources. I'm thinking about what would I use in my private lesson studio with my students or group lessons or whatever. That's how I'm creating resources. I'm making resources for piano teachers. So that's my niche. Now within that niche, there are a lot of directions you could go, right? I could go with like high school music theory worksheets. I could go with preschool songs with actions. I could go with first and second grade theory games, flashcards. There's so many different directions that I could take my bigger niche. And so that's why I kind of wanted to explore to see what my audience was looking for. The way that I did this, again, was through the freebies and the seasonal things, but I made sure that I was making a variety. There's something to be said for making like a full product line of products that go together and then you put them in a bundle and then you make $25 on the sale instead of $3. Totally. But if the bundle is a bundle of things people don't want, it's not going to sell. So the way that I found out which part of my niche I'm going to go 100% in on, like what am I going to be known for, is I tried different things. So I tried things from, the old kids to the young kids. I tried worksheets, I tried games, I tried a little bit of everything. And I just put a seasonal twist on each idea that I had and then just kind of track the progress of all of them. Along with exploring your niche, I think you really do have to think about what are customers looking for, doing that research, typing things into the search bar. If TPT does not autofill the phrase that you are starting to type, that means people are not searching for it. And that can be a little discouraging because you can have the best idea in the world that you would love as a teacher and type it in and just be like, dang it. But it's better to know before you make it because here's what's even more discouraging is spending 10 hours creating the perfect resource and then selling 2 over the course of the year. So you basically worked for nothing, right? It's a balance between knowing your niche, that you're stepping into a niche, you already have a niche, right? You have a grade that you teach, you have a subject that you teach, whatever. But then exploring within that to see where's the perfect balance of what I'm super knowledgeable about, good at making resources for, have good ideas about, and customers are searching for. And then that's going to be your happy place. And once you find that, then income will be easy, because those are the things that you're good at making. Those are the things that are easier to make. Those are the things that are selling. And then you just make more of that. So at the end of the day, isn't that kind of a relief? That you could find like your perfect little niche, and those few products that you keep cranking out on that one little micro niche are what bring you all the income, right? So it's actually a relief. It's just a little overwhelming at first because you don't know what it is. And that's why the exploring is so important. All right, one final thought about ROI. So this is return on investment, the time that you're putting in on certain tasks. How does it pay you back? And then you have to balance the fast track ROI, the mid-range ROI, and the long-term ROI. Here's what I mean by that. There are certain things that you can do in your store that will get you some like instant gratification, right? So, like your income boosts right away. Things like making that hot seasonal product, people are searching for. Yes, do those things, but don't just do those things. Also think about what is going to increase your income 3 months from now? Okay, mid-range ROI. So alongside that hot seasonal product, thinking about something that worked well 3 seasons ago that now you're going to make either a longer seasonal product, like it works for all of fall, all of winter, or make it into an evergreen product. And then also think about, where do I want the business to be in 5 years? Okay, so where's my long-term ROI gonna go? So there are certain things that you can do in your store that are gonna give you long-term ROI. Things like starting an email list, things like going all in on Pinterest, a blog, a YouTube channel, things like that. Those will not get you more income this month. Sorry. They will help your little increases and your mid-range increases to keep snowballing so that in 5 years, you've got a 6-figure business. Okay, so just think about that and take all of my ideas with a grain of salt. Balance your fast ROI, your mid-range ROI, and your long-term ROI, and build a real business. All right, so if you're interested in some future TPT updates, hit the subscribe button. My next video is gonna be all about the things that I did that did not help my TPT store. So hopefully I can help you not waste some time, and I will see you there.